Well, hey everybody, it's Bob Nagin, and in this episode of Real Retail TV, we are going to explore a concept, an important concept that should be part of the way that you think about business. At our Platinum Mastermind Group meeting in Puerto Rico in January, somebody made the offhand comment that money loves speed. And it caught my ear, it caught my imagination, and I've used it several times here at WizBank Training. I've used it several times when talking to clients, and all of that led to I should be exploring that with you here on an episode of Real Retail TV. You don't have to be told that everything is changing fast. It could be argued that things are changing too fast. And the speed isn't changing. In fact, it's accelerating. AI is making everything go so fast. But what does that mean to you as a retailer? What does that mean to you as an entrepreneur? Well, what it means is that the old way of figuring things out on the fly no longer works. Let me just say that again. Figuring things out on the fly no longer works. By the time you figure out a good social media strategy, the algorithms will have changed, and your newly found hard-won knowledge will be about as valuable as an ashtray on a bicycle. By the time you figure out how to buy skillfully and professionally, you're going to be overstocked with merchandise you can't sell. By the time you figure out how to manage people humanely and professionally, you'll have wasted countless hours obsessing about why people won't do the things you want them to do and in the way you want them done. You get the idea. It just takes too long. So what's the solution? The solution, there are two parts to this solution. And the first part is to learn from the mistakes and successes of others. Jim Rohn famously said, "Success leaves clues." And what does that mean? It means find somebody who is doing what you want to do and learn from them. They've already done it. They know how to do it. Learn from them. The speed is going to help you. I would also add that failure leaves clues. I like to say that when you invest in the Retail Mastery System, you're buying at least 30 years of hard-won lessons. And many of those lessons were learned because I made mistakes. Costly mistakes. Mistakes that you don't have to learn the hard way. You want to learn efficiently and you want to learn fast. So how do you do that? Invest. As a rule, not always, but as a rule, free is slow, paid is fast. You can wade through a million bullshit YouTube videos about the topic of your choice, or you can pay money to buy a product, to go to a seminar from somebody who you are confident already knows how to do what you want to do. If you have confidence, the speed that you will be brought up to is worth the money. Remember, it's not what something costs, it's what it pays. Time is a resource. If you invest your time wisely, you're going to get a great return. You're going to have more time. Money is a resource. If you invest your money wisely, you're going to get the greatest return and you're going to have more money. Again, it's not what something costs, it's what it pays. So if I were to say to you, if you gave me $1 and I gave you $2, how many dollars would you give me? And I hope the answer is all my money, right? And that's a bit of an exaggeration, but the lesson remains true. An investment gives you back more than you put in. And money and time are two things that are very, very important to invest. Now, money also loves courage. So if you invest money in a seminar or in a program and you get that and you don't do anything with it, it won't work. You have to take action. You have to act on what you've learned from the investment you make. Fail fast. Don't be afraid to try things that you've learned. Sometimes it's going to work. Sometimes it's not going to work. But if you have the courage to try it, you are getting momentum. I can guarantee that what you don't try won't work. Wayne Gretzky said, "You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take." Take the shot. Learn the lesson. Move on. That is the essence of what I'm sharing with you here today. It is no longer a time for the timid. It is time for the brave. You need to step up and invest in yourself, invest in your future, invest in skills, invest in speed. Because remember, it's not what it costs, it's what it returns. And you want to get to that place where you have built the business that you've dreamed of as quickly as possible. Momentum will get you there quickly, but if you stay stuck, it's really, really hard to move forward. So your action item from today's episode of Real Retail TV is to think back to the last 3 to 6 months and ask yourself about a situation or an opportunity that could have really, really accelerated your growth as a person, as a business person. What kind of skills would you have liked to have acquired? Ask yourself, did you have a situation like that? And did you show the courage to make the investment? Did you make an investment in speed? And if you did, nice work. Congratulations. If you didn't, please don't beat yourself up. You know, we are playing a long game here. Begin again. Just recognize that your business life is going to be literally one opportunity after another to learn, to grow, to invest. Don't beat yourself up of something that you didn't do in the past, but make this idea of money loves speed part of the way that you think, so that the next time that that opportunity comes up, you ask yourself, no, you tell yourself to have the courage to make the investment and then follow up on that investment and do the things that you've learned. Shorten that space between understanding what you have to do and doing it, getting it done. When you go faster, you're going to make more money. Because again, one last time, money loves speed. All right, everybody, I hope that you found this episode of Real Retail TV helpful. If you did, I would love to hear about something that you invested in that really brought you speed and money, or just put your comments down below. And of course, we're going to see you again next week.